I'm Zoe Cunningham here at the London Open Backgammon with Simon Morcroft, a musician and composer and also a backgammon player.
Yes, the music came first, so the backgammon followed.
How did you get into playing backgammon?
Well, it was my wife who actually introduced me to the game. She's a keen player as well, and as she's got less keen, I've got more keen, so I'm playing much more than she is these days.
Do you think lots of couples play backgammon?
I think they do, yes. I mean, I know of several couples who play, and it's a very nice way to socialise as well. And in fact, this coming weekend we're getting together with another backgammon couple to play on Sunday, so it should be fun.
Kind of backgammon foursome?
Yes, that sort of thing, yes.
And how do you play with four players? Do you play teams against each other?
Well, you can either split off and play in individual matches against each other, or you can play doubles, and doubles is quite fun because I think you learn a lot about the game, because you can consult and then you hear what the other team are suggesting they might do, and you start thinking about all possible different kinds of moves you might make.
So is there any risk when you're playing backgammon with your wife of it causing any disharmony?
Well, she would tell you very much so, and in fact she's very amused that this weekend I've been nominated for the Most Courteous Player Award.
Oh, well, congratulations!
And she thinks this is a big joke because we have had a few spats over the board, I must admit.
So you're perhaps not quite so courteous to her when playing backgammon?
Well, I suppose it's a bit different when you're playing with your partner. I mean, I do try very hard, but I'm very competitive, and that does get the better of me sometimes.
And so what kind of music do you work with?
Well, these days I'm mainly writing classical chamber music. I used to write a lot of signature tunes and incidental music for the BBC, particularly on radio. But these days I'm concentrating on live music and getting a lot out of it. In fact, I'm just writing an opera at the moment, so that's the biggest scale thing I've attempted.
Wow, so maybe at the London Open 2014 we can have some opera.
It's possible.
Do you think musicians make good backgammon players?
Well, potentially, because there is in theory a link between musical ability and mathematics. That's often been thought to be the case, and of course you do need your probability skills for backgammon.
Do you spend a lot of time working on backgammon and learning the statistics and the numbers?
Not really. Essentially I'm someone who plays the game for enjoyment, for fun. And I do a little bit of work, but I don't take it too seriously. And I'm certainly not someone who knows all the match equity tables off by heart.
And so what do you think your chances are this weekend at the London Open?
Very poor, I should think, but I'll have a go, and I think you just have to take it one match at a time and see how you get on, and not be too disappointed if you lose, because there's very many good players here.
Do you have to approach backgammon in a certain way in order to be able to play your best?
I think you have to remain calm. I think you have to not be too adventurous to start with in a match, particularly if you don't know the player, your opponent, because there's no point in trying to judge that you're going to be the better or weaker player until you've got a feel for how the game's going. And then once you've got a better idea, later in the match you can be a bit more attacking maybe.
And which of the players here do you know already? Have you seen play before?
Well, I've seen quite a few of the players here, particularly the British players, and last year I played a couple of the strong Italian players who are coming, and I was beaten twice by Italians last year, so I'm hoping to get my revenge this year.
Who do you think is going to win?
Well, I guess if Peter Bennett might be a very strong candidate. Marcus Rynch might be, of the British players.
Yes, and obviously Marcus won last year.
Right,
He's got form.
He has got form, indeed.
What do you think about the Backgammon Giants list? Because obviously two of the British players, Raj Jansori and Junior Fetterline, are on that list. Do you think that's a good indicator that they're significantly better than other players?
I think it's pretty good, and having played them both, I know that they're very strong players. I guess it's also an indication of the type of backgammon you play, and there are very many strong players who aren't particularly tournament players who maybe make their money by playing money games instead, and they won't be here, but that doesn't mean they're not weak. They're not strong players.
What's the largest amount of money you've ever played for?
I don't play for large sums of money. I rarely enter a tournament if it's more than £50 to enter. I did play in the Nordic Open recently, which was a little bit more than that, but played at the intermediate level, which is a level I felt comfortable in.
Well, best of luck this weekend with the tournament.
Thanks.